Hello everyone and welcome back here at the Press Center in Vienna, where we will be discussing tonight again the recent developments here at the Eurovision Song Contest with two of my guests. One is Rob Furber, a professional batter at the Eurovision Song Contest. And Madeleine, you're working for ESC United, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And that's a website, Eurovision website that focuses on the outside of Europe group. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we are like international, so we have people in the team from USA, and we have a lot of fans on the forum from all over the world, basically. So we try to focus outside Europe also.
And you have an Australian fan base as well, because ESC Daily is of course an Australian website.
Yeah, we have it's people from everywhere, so yeah.
Nice. Before we start talking to them, let's first take a quick look at what's been happening here at the Press Center in recent days. Finally, also for the journalists here, the arena opened and people can film the rehearsals now. At least that's what happened the past 2 days when we were filming the rehearsals from the first and the second semi-final, both on one day, so it was like 2 really long days for us. But then today it was back to the direct qualified finalists. Here we see Edurne from Spain. Since it's their first rehearsal round, we cannot film their rehearsal just yet, not even from Guy Sebastian, our own entry here for Australia at the Eurovision Song Contest. And this is a press conference with the UK. Will they finally be able to improve on their bad track record? And this is one of the favorites, maybe even one of the bigger ones, Italia, during their first run-through here at Stadthalle. And here we'll have the German entry, Anne-Sophie. We'll be talking about her later on in tonight's show. Filming the rehearsals finally in the last couple of days. Do you guys do that? Do you have your own clips of the rehearsals?
Yeah, we do. We film everything and get it up as fast as we can. So.
Do you have certain countries that are like more popular in among Americans, for example?
I don't know really. We haven't noticed anything. I know on our Instagram, Russia is very popular, got a lot of likes, and also Norway. Yeah.
And you're from Sweden. Sweden's one of the biggest favorites, but what I was wondering is, because you're a batter here at Eurovision, since they're such a big favorite, is it possible to still get any value out of that, or are they already so lowly rated?
It's a great question. I'm a value seeker. That's my strategy with the Eurovision betting markets. And for me, there is no value really in the Swedish price, which I think is about 2 to 1 currently. Too short for my liking.
So value seeking, that means that you try to pick out the countries that are underrated, right? Do you have any tips for us or for people watching at home?
Absolutely, yeah. I would suggest either Estonia each way, first 4 places. I think you can get about 10 to 1 on Estonia, and Russia. The other each way bet for me at about 10 to 1. I think Russia's very strong for a top 4 finish, as is Estonia.
So that might also be an explanation maybe why they're doing so well at your side as well. How do you like Russia?
I think it's nice, but the whole message of peace in the world it just go against Russia basically. So I think but her voice is amazing, and I also know one of the backing singers from Swedish Idol, and I love that guy, so really impressed with the whole performance, and I think it's just that the message go against what I think Russia stands for.
It's a bit ironic in that sense.
Yeah.
So today we've been looking at the first run-through for the finalists. In the video we saw, of course, our very own Guy Sebastian. I have to ask about that, not just because you're here, but also for our own sake. How did you like his first rehearsal?
I thought it was shaping up pretty well, actually. I quite like the staging of it. He is obviously a very, very good vocalist. That's one of the most important things. He's very vocally assured. But the betting market has really stagnated. The Australian price hasn't really moved. It's about 7 to 1. Third favourite behind Sweden, obviously, and Italy.
And how about Italy then? Because now they're also today for the first time on.
Yeah, I wondered if Italy might be backed in today, but again, the price hasn't really moved. Still solid second favourite. I like the backdrop. I think that's really good. I felt they were maybe a little bit static on the stage. I don't know what you guys thought.
I agree, yeah. But I think it's still very good for a song like that, so I think they will be good, yeah.
At the press conference they were compared to Il Divo. And usually when you compare an artist here at the Eurovision with another name, they'd be like, oh, we're so honored. But they said like, well, what do you say about Il Divo? You know, they're not really Italians, and if Italians would make sushi, it wouldn't really taste that well. So they're walking around this press center. They seem very relaxed and funny and stuff like that. But I was wondering, does that have any like impact on actual result? Can you see that also on the stage? Because people at home, they don't see them here. They only see them on the stage.
That's it. It's really all about those 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And how it's coming across on the TV monitor. You know, it's an audio-visual experience that you need to be judging, because that's how people back at home are watching Eurovision, and that's how the juries are obviously, looking at the songs and assessing the songs.
Yeah, it's very different to like see it in the arena and see it on the screen, because it's just completely different. And you can love a song in the arena and then just, it doesn't look good on screen at all. So it's very depending on how it looks on screen for the viewers at home.
Something I thought looked really good at screen during the first run through was Georgia. And that's why ESC Daily took a look at their stage director and had a talk with her. What was the idea behind the staging of that song?
Very, very special to work with Nina. She wrote the song herself, so it comes from her. She's also a very intense performer, so I wanted the song to match the performance. And I want the performance to be like a warrior princess, like she's caving in, the world is like caving in around her, and that she's like storming. It's like, all this weather feeling, like when it's blowing outside and when it's like raining, when it's like thunder and lightning. I wanted that feeling on stage. But besides water, like how could you make this feel like the earth is moving? So it's powerful, and it's also very clean in the concept. We don't want to mix in a lot of warm colors or bring in swooping cameras and have that soft feeling. We want it to be tough and hard and almost angled, like in the graphics it's very like cold and angled. And Nina is a very intense performer, like her eyes are very intense, so that's why we have the big eyes. Like the first time I saw a picture on her, I was like, we need to do something with those eyes. It's amazing.
Nina has very expressive eyes, and that's what they're focusing on in the Georgian staging. Did you like it?
I love it. I think it's a triumph, the Georgian staging. And the other thing I like about it, in terms of trading the betting markets, it's on last. So it has the chance to leave a real sort of lasting impression on the viewers at home. And that's a potential advantage for Georgia to be last on. And actually, Georgia for me is been a bit of each way value to finish in the top 3 in that semi-final.
Because their odds have moved a lot. I mean, before the contest, they were not one of the bigger favorites.
No, they weren't. Yeah, the odds have come in. You're right on Georgia. It's been quite well backed. The issue for people who are betting each way on semi-final one is the presence, obviously, of Russia and Estonia, because those two look very, very solid to me. So, 2 of the podium places are probably going to be taken by those two. So you've got to try and find that third placer probably. But I think Georgia
for a top 3 finish in
for a top 3
semi.
finish in that semi. Yeah, I think Georgia has a really solid chance of getting on the podium in that semi-final.
Yeah, it looked amazing, like on the picture. Yeah, it was just, I didn't expect it at all, because the song, I didn't feel so strong for the song, but that performance, just amazing.
Yeah, and Sasha, who directed the staging, who we just saw, she's from Sweden actually. She worked with a lot of Melody Festival and artists before. Do you know her?
No, I don't, but I know there's like Swedish people doing like everything in so many entries, and I think it's kind of against the whole thing, because I think you want to represent your country, so why are we always using like the Swedish people to make it better? I think it should be from your own country.
Another question is, why are you guys so good?
Why?
Why are you guys so good? You have good composers, good stage directors.
I don't know. I really don't know. We are good. I guess. At least some of us. But I think you have to bring out the best, and maybe there are like so many other good people in like the other countries. They just haven't found them yet. Like they have to getting more attention to like undiscovered upcoming designers and choreographers and dancers, and because I think they are in every country.
And you guys find them through Melody Festival maybe, because that helps, I guess.
Exactly,
so selection like that.
Yeah, we can find them after Easter, and yeah.
Do you guys bet on that as well, like the pre-selections, not just in Melody Festival, but like everything building up to Eurovision?
The national finals around Europe, yes. Whenever there's a market, I will look to get involved. often you struggle in terms of liquidity on Betfair with some of these national finals because they are sort of quite obscure, really. Like, Denmark, for instance, Norway. I was looking to get involved actually in A Monster Like Me for Norway. As soon as I heard it, it was favourite, but I thought it was a certainty in Norway, and it nearly lost actually. So it was quite a relief when it won.
And now they're here. How did you like them for Norway?
To be honest, I'm a little disappointed in the Norwegian staging. I just wanted to see more drama going on the stage. I think their outfits, both in white, I don't think that works very well. I'd rather have seen him in maybe like a dinner jacket and Deborah.
I love their outfits.
Really?
Her
Deborah,
outfit is amazing. I think I would love to have that, like at home. So yeah.
I'd like to have seen us some kind of femme fatale in the a flowing red ball gown, very dramatic to match her hair.
Not to match her hair. That would be too matchy. I think.
I
love
think
the
it needs
white
a
is
dramatic
amazing.
canvas, and it's not got.
It was always going to be
It's
difficult
too
for them to
Spartan.
copy what they did at the video clip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because that story, it's great for a video clip. I think it's very intriguing. But how are you going to put that on stage?
I would have gone with like a gothic amphitheatre as the background. For me, it's just very, very plain. I'm a huge
love
fan
it.
of the Norway
yeah.
song. Don't get me wrong, but I just think the staging is missing.
And it looks a bit like they didn't change that much from the national final, did they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So we've seen Norway coming from a national final. We talked about Melody Festival in Sweden. Some countries choose for internal selections, and ESC Daily has been done some investigation on that over the past couple of days. How artists feel about that coming from a national final here into Eurovision.
Our own Guy Sebastian, of course, was chosen internal by broadcaster SBS. But there are also many artists who are taking part that have been selected through a national final, like Buggy through Adal in Hungary, and Mans Zelmerlöw, who won Melodifestivalen in Sweden. They both see an advantage in this selection process.
I think it helps a lot, actually. I think I'm not as nervous as many of the other artists may be. And I think that I've already been, the finals was in this big arena with 40,000 people in Sweden. So that doesn't feel new either. And but of course it's something different. I love Eurovision.
Actually, the experience was really important for me because I never been a live TV show before. So the hearing monitors, for example, that also the situation that I have just 3 minutes to do my best. So it was a really important experience for me.
It can also be tough because Germany's Anne-Sophie didn't win her national final at all. But because the actual winner didn't want to go to Eurovision, she is here in Vienna. But what will that do with her confidence?
Anne-Sophie ending up second, but then winning in a very strange national final in Germany. Madeleine, we've been saying that this kind of stuff only happens in Ukraine or Belarus. Now it happens in Germany. How did you follow the German national final?
Yeah, I did. I had the Instagram prepared, this is the winner, and I actually posted it. And then suddenly they started talking about that he's not going. So I was like, I have to edit that, and he's not going. So it was kind of stressful, but yeah, drama.
Which of the two did you prefer, honestly?
I don't know. I think I liked his voice better. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of neither was my favorites. So yeah.
We saw our first rehearsal today, Rob, Anne-Sophie on stage today. What do you think about it?
I think she's got a really good vocal, but I just worry about the song in terms of Eurovision and its appeal. I think it's one of those songs that will just possibly just wash over people a little bit, and it will depend on the draw. I think first half draw, I think Germany is doomed then, but second half, its chances improve in theory. I think the juries may give it some respect, but it's probably going to fall away on the televote side of things.
Yeah.
And for a jury vote, you also need very good vocals. I thought she was okay today, but that's what I was also wondering, having come from such a messy national final, not knowing, like Mans and Boggy and all the other ones we saw, that there is a whole crowd behind you that voted for you because they voted for another song. How do you think she's going to feel 5 minutes before she goes on stage? Is that going to rush through her head?
I don't think so. I'm sure she's professional, and she's looking forward to the experience.
Yeah, I think just like when it happened at the moment, and maybe after when everyone's like asking questions, she probably thought of it a lot. But I think that's past now. Like, she might get some questions at the press conference and stuff, but I think on stage it's just her, and she was selected, like she was the number 2 anyway. So yeah.
Other interesting thing, what would happen if there would be a bet market on the German national final and you would have voted for or put money on, let's say, Andreas Kummer to win? What would have happened?
That would have been brilliant, because it would have been such a meltdown, basically. It's one of those situations where you'd have to sort of read the small print of the bookmaker where you placed your bet. Betfair, I don't think, had a Germany national final betting market, so we don't know exactly what their stance would have been. But basically, yeah, the people who backed the guy would have probably lost their money.
And then you would have a huge run through of odds and stuff like that, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. All right, so we've seen these rehearsals. We're now going into the second week with the live shows. What are your plans for that? Starting with you.
The plans, I have a lot of work to do. So I'm just going to try to combine work with like tourist things in Vienna.
See something of the city.
Yeah, I haven't had time at all to go. We were at that Schönbrunn place, but that's like the only thing. I've just been working non-stop, so yeah, try to relax more this week.
Yeah, so the opera during the days and then the live shows during the nights.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
How about you? You'll be sitting here during the live shows?
Yeah, I'm here every day, trading, monitoring the markets, trying to see where the value is. And for me, of course, the jury performances are critical. So I'm going to be watching that TV monitor, scrutinising their performances, trying to work out who's excelling, who's maybe not producing their best, and yeah, right through the week here, basically covering the semi-finals and then the final.
Big week coming up also for us here at the ESC Daily. We'll be covering, of course, the live shows and everything surrounding our own entry, Guy Sebastian. You can see interviews with them and with the other members of the Australian delegation later this week on escdaily.com. For now, I'll tell you good night